Welcome to Shabbos Shoutout. By now, Pesach is definitely in the rearview mirror. It's hard to imagine that less than 2 weeks ago, we were eating matzah. By the way, I have plenty of leftover matzah in case you're interested. In today's shoutout, I'd like to share with you a question that someone asked me just before Pesach began. I hope you'll find both the question and my answer to be helpful. So here's the question. Dear Rabbi, how is it that my appliances seem to know when it's Erev Yontiv? Invariably, just before Yontiv, a major holiday, they seem to break. What gives? Here's my answer. To answer your question, I decided to ask an expert in the field. His name is Mr. Stove. He's a stove. Yes, you heard me right, a stove. I went to a neighbor's kitchen and asked their stove the question. Here's how the conversation went. Me. Mr. Stove, pleasure to meet you today. Thank you for sitting down to today's interview. Mr. Stove. My pleasure, Rabbi. I was sitting anyway. But I do have to tell you that I had a rough Pesach. Over Yontiv, the family who owns me had a visiting relative who's a cowboy. He sat on me several times. Me. Why would he do such a thing? Mr. Stove. He says that it made him feel more home on the range. Me. Mr. Stove, enough with the bad puns. Let's get down to business. One of my congregants wants to know why you and your fellow appliances always seem to cause trouble just before Yontiv. What gives? Mr. Stove. People think that there are only these new fancy phones that are smart, but me and my fellow appliances get a bum rap. We're also plenty smart because we take orders directly from the boss. Not Springsteen, the boss, Hashem. Just as I and my fellow appliances come with user manuals, those who own me also come with directions. And lesson number 1 is, life is a test. Everyone gets tested in various ways so that they can develop their character and actualize their potential. Me. Does that mean, Mr. Stove, that sometimes you stop working at particularly busy times to deliberately try people's patience? Mr. Stove. Exactly. If I'd go on the fritz on a Monday in the summer, anyone can deal with that type of challenge. That would be easy peasy. But if I start acting up a few days before Pesach, that might cause a lot of gas work. It might cause a balabusta to really boil over. It might really... Mr. Stove, Mr. Tove said, it would cause a more formidable challenge for said balabusta. Will she keep her cool? Will her husband be understanding, supportive, and drop everything in order to get a repairman out to fix me? Will the neighbors pitch in to help? Life is a test, Rabbi. I and my fellow appliances just follow orders to help everyone reach their latent inner potential. What a conversation. Good Shabbos.